What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Albert Vartanian, and thanks for those who watched the first episode of the Premier League predictions. And we're back for prediction time number 2, but this time it's game week 37, second last game week of the Premier League season. So let's just jump right into it. Manchester United against Fulham, kick it off on Tuesday. Manchester United should pick up all 3 points here, unless they put out a B-side. Even then, I still think that they have enough firepower to take over Fulham, an already relegated Fulham. I know Fulham's manager has come out and said they need to rally and, finish off the season strong, but nonetheless, I've seen nothing from them. I've seen nothing from Fulham to tell me that they can go into Old Trafford and beat Manchester United. And I do believe that United will field a strong 11, considering they just need 2 points to lock up second place. Get the result here, field a weakened side in the last game of the season, and heading into the Europa League, all of your starters, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Edinson Cavani, all of those players are fresh and ready to go against Villarreal in the Europa League final. But yes, I do think United pick up 3 points. I think Fulham can score here. No Harry Maguire once again for Manchester United. 2 matches without him, 6 goals allowed. There's a problem there. He is the anchor, the linchpin of that defense. And without him there, they're susceptible to goals and mistakes. And I think Fulham pick one up. But I'm going to go 3-1 Manchester United over Fulham. Next up, Southampton Leeds at St. Mary's. Both teams coming off big results at the weekend. Leeds destroying Burnley 4-0. Rodrigo coming off the bench with 2 goals. Nearly had a hat-trick in that matchup. Jack Harrison once again was fantastic. I think he had a goal and 2 assists. Rafinha didn't look at his best, but he's getting back into fitness, which should be a bonus heading over to St. Mary's to take on Southampton. The Saints beating Fulham 3-1. No goal from Danny Ings, but doesn't matter. Che Adams, Nathan Tella getting on the score sheet. Even Theo Walcott scored for Southampton. Everything seems to be going right at the moment. The pressure is off. They can play a lot more free-flowing. And I think this is a great clash of styles. 2 very similar styles of teams who can play fantastic attacking football, which I think means goals. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this matchup. I think Leeds take it to Southampton, though, 3-2. Saints, from the dead ball, I think that's where their goals will come from, especially if Ward-Prowse is over the corner kicks and every other set piece. So I'm going to go Leeds once again, 3, Southampton 2. The next game is Brighton hosting the champions Manchester City, and the big question around this matchup is what 11 is Pep Guardiola going to field? Is he going to field a similar side that beat Newcastle at the weekend 4-3, or is he going to go with the first team? Are we going to see Mahrez, De Bruyne, maybe Jesus and Aguero? I don't think so, and I really don't think it matters. I think nonetheless, if they put out the first team, the second team, even if City put out a third team, I think they should be able to do the job against Brighton. Nothing against Brighton, but at this point in the season, not much left to play for Brighton. They're safe. They're not going to get relegated. So not as much pressure on either side to really perform. So I think at that point, that's when quality is going to show off. And that's what Manchester City have in abundance. So I'm going to go with the champions. 2-1 though. 2-1 win over Brighton. I think Danny Welbeck scores a goal for Brighton. The final matchup on Tuesday is a big one between 2 top 4 hopefuls. Chelsea, Leicester City both want a spot in next year's Champions League, and they'll need a result in this matchup to get one step closer to that. Yes, Leicester beat Chelsea in the FA Cup final at the weekend, but I don't see that same thing happening here, even though I have my doubts about Chelsea. You know, when a new manager comes into a team, and they have that new manager bounce where they're winning games or scoring goals. It's that honeymoon period. We've seen it so many times over. We saw Manchester City's manager, Manchester United's manager, when Arsenal's manager came in, Mikel Arteta. It just happens. It's just that new manager bounce. The players get rejuvenated and they want to play, they want to score goals, and they want to show off to the new manager. That's what I think has happened with Thomas Tuchel in Chelsea. And I have a feeling at the wrong time that it's kind of starting to wear off. He came in January and since then has put together some incredible results, got them back into the top 4 race, got them into the FA Cup final. Yes, they lost, but they were there nonetheless. And they still have the Champions League final to play for. I don't think they'll win the Champions League, but they do have a legitimate shot at finishing the top 4. But I do have my concerns. Regardless, I'm going with Chelsea, a 1-0 win here. If you don't want to back a winner here, under 2.5. If you're betting under 2.5 goals, I feel it's a lock. Newcastle and Sheffield kick off Wednesday's matches. And look at Newcastle, scoring goals for fun all of a sudden, but still, they can't pick up 3 points without Callum Wilson in the lineup. They haven't been able to do that all season long. I do think that changes though against the Blades. Yes, I know Sheffield beat Everton 1-0 in kind of a freak shock result, if I'm being completely honest with you. And Everton, they just looked horrible. I don't think that happens again. I think Newcastle pick up all 3 points, especially with the fans back at the stadium. I think it's a match made in heaven for some of those players on the Newcastle side. Joe Willock, Alan Saint-Maximin, I think is only going to thrive in front of those fans. So I'm going to go Newcastle 2, Sheffield United 1. Speaking of Everton, they're taking on Wolves, and yes, I think they have the advantage here just because the fans are going to be at Goodison Park, or else I'd probably go with a stalemate. I'd go with a 0-0 or a 1-1. Wolves, not really looking that great, missing a lot of players. I mean, the one bright spot they do have and the one danger to every side in the Premier League, especially this Everton side on Wednesday, is Adama Traore. I think he can cause some problems for Everton, but I think they're just going to have a bit too much, and the fans are going to give them that edge that they need, that push that they need to bounce back from that poor shock result against Sheffield United. I'm going to go with Everton 2, Wolves 1. Next up, Tottenham against Aston Villa. Two teams who were fantastic at the beginning of the season. Two teams that we thought would maybe potentially push for a top 4 spot. I mean, at one point, Spurs were top of the league, but here we are. End of the season, Villa mid-table, safe, Spurs fighting for a Europa League spot. How much things changed in just a short amount of time. The big news, obviously, for Tottenham, Harry Kane has reportedly told the club he wants to leave at the end of the season. My thinking on that is, who knows if that's going to happen. It's going to cost a lot of money for another team to come in and buy him from Spurs. I just want to know if it's going to affect the players heading into this matchup and heading into the last matchup of the season. Maybe, maybe not. But regardless, in this matchup alone, I think they should be fine. I think Spurs beat Villa. Villa just, they haven't looked that great. They've only won 1 match in the last 7 outings. Tottenham, that front 4 of Ali, Son, Kane, and Bale starting to click a little bit. And I really think those guys can overwhelm the Aston Villa defense. And Harry Kane, 6 goals in 6 matches against Villa. I like him to score. Let's go Spurs 2, Villa 1. Crystal Palace against Arsenal. Crystal Palace over, I would say, the last 3, maybe even 4 years have been a bogey side to Arsenal. Arsenal haven't beaten them since 2018. A lot of draws in that time, but nonetheless, Palace seem to play well against Arsenal and are playing well at the moment. They're scoring goals. Eberechi Eze and Wolf Zaha looked fantastic at the weekend. And now Benteke scoring goals. Zaha got back on the score sheet. I think they really can cause this Arsenal team some problems. This is an Arsenal team that really have zip to play for. They're going to try maybe to jump into one of the Europa League spots, or maybe the Europa Conference League, whatever that even is. But I think that at the moment, at this point in the season, I'm taking the form team. Call me crazy. I'm going Palace 3, Arsenal 2. Burnley against Liverpool is one of the last matches to kick off on Wednesday, and Liverpool, they need all 3 points. If they want to finish in the top 4, this is a matchup they need to win. Second last game of the season, go to Burnley and beat Burnley. The problem there, they seem to struggle with teams in the bottom half. Look, against West Brom at the weekend, they needed the last second winner by their keeper to win that matchup 2-1. Same thing happened against Aston Villa. Earlier in the season, they lost 7-2 to Villa, pre-Virgil van Dijk. They drew the likes of Newcastle and Leeds United. For whatever reason, they struggle against teams in the bottom half. Maybe it's because they stay more compact, they defend more, they're not opened as much as other teams are against Liverpool because they don't want to expose themselves and give those types of spaces to the players who play for Liverpool. Whatever the reason may be, they struggle against them. I still think Liverpool have enough, just enough to get past Burnley. I'm going to go with the 2-1 scoreline. Could be more, though, if Nick Pope doesn't start for Burnley. So that's something to keep an eye on. If it's Peacock Farrell in between the sticks for Burnley, Liverpool, forget about it. They got all 3 points. If it's Nick Pope, they're going to struggle. The final match of the day is West Brom against West Ham. And West Ham, big opportunity missed when they lost 1-0 to Brighton at the weekend. And I think they're going to struggle here against West Brom. For some reason, like Liverpool, they can't break down these teams. West Ham are a much better team on the break when they have space to get in behind defenses. And I think Sam Allardyce will have West Brom compact, defending. He won't have them too open, which means West Ham is going to struggle. I'm going to go 1-1. I think West Brom scores 1 on the break. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff that helps the channel grow. And stay tuned. On Thursday, I'll have the prediction video up for the final match day of the Premier League season. Hope to see you then.